so excited to hear from our keynote speaker today, Josh Collins with the Main Street Mentor. We had the honor of working with Josh last year on cohesive visioning and marketing for our tourism products, both to attract visitors and to bring awareness to quality of life factors impacting our residents. I want to thank Jill Leo with the Natchitoches Main Street and HDBA for introducing us to Josh. And I want to thank Rebecca Blankenbaker with the Heritage Area and Paige Alost with the CVB again for sponsoring today's keynote address. Today, Josh will be discussing the Flywheel Effect, transforming places from surviving to thriving. He'll guide us through how collaboration and community engagement can spark sustainable growth and revitalization, breaking through inertia to build a more connected and vibrant community. Based on his extensive branding and marketing background within the travel and tourism industry, including key leadership roles at Zartico and Visit Franklin, Josh has championed innovative strategies that have significantly boosted visitor spending, community participation, and overall economic development. In his talk today, he'll explore the essential components of a vibrant community flywheel, how to break down silos and synchronize efforts across sectors, transitioning from best practices to better practices in sustainable development, overcoming modern cynicism and building trust, and the transformational journey from survival mode to a thriving community. Please join me in welcoming a dynamic thought leader reshaping our vision for community success. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Collins.
Hello, test, 1, 2. I'm going to eat this thing right here and then hold it the whole time. So there you go. Okay, everybody say hi, Josh. All right, thank you. I'm so glad to be here, seriously. And I'm going to stand down here, one, because, yes, it's going to work. Good. I'm going to make sure I point to you, and we'll get it here. So, those of you in the back, I've just got to say, I'm really, really sorry. I was way off on my font size planning for today, so this got to be miserable for you guys back there. Feel free to put your readers on. It's okay. We're not going to blame you. I may pull mine out as well because, seriously, some of this is going to be... it's going to be a little tough for me, so give me some grace here too, okay? But I really am excited to be here, and let me start by saying this. If you want these slides, I'd be happy to give them to you. There's going to be some good data and some research I'm going to share with you guys. So feel free to text slides, 615-465-0152. Take a picture of this. You can do it later or whatever. There's some free gifts that I want to give you guys as well. But so let's get started first of all. As we think about a community flywheel, I edited the title just a little bit for you, but that's okay. I think we'll be okay. But let's start with the story. So this was me probably 28 years ago. The first 15 years of my professional career, I was in the music business. So I toured professionally all over the world, filled multiple passports, had no clue that travel and tourism, public sector, community development, right, had no clue any of that was a thing, okay? I would spend time basically on a tour bus or on a plane or something, and eventually I found myself working a event in Nashville called, it was a WWE Raw wrestling event. Is anybody familiar with WWE at all? Yes, thank you. I see that hand in the back. Appreciate that, Dustin. So one of the things, I'm sitting here working this event and my phone rings, okay? And I pick up the phone, and it's a friend of mine. He's like, hey, Stevie needs a monitor engineer this summer. Are you available? And I said, yes, of course I am. How many music fans do we have in the house? Okay, no, seriously, really only a couple of you listen to music? No, seriously, how many of you listen to music? Okay, how many of you listen to music today? Oh, good, that's what I like. Okay, so you see what I just experienced when the phone rang was getting a call from Stevie Wonder, right? Not him literally, but it was his bass player. And so Stevie Wonder calls, I'm in the music business, like you say yes. I don't care what the question is, you say yes, right? So of course, naturally, I'm like, yeah, I'm on it. Like, let's do it. Okay, so that summer I got to spend mixing and touring with Stevie Wonder. And here's what I want to explain or share. you may disagree with me about this, but you're wrong. He's one of the greatest entertainers of all time, okay? So, and not only is he one of the greatest entertainers of all time, but he's one of the most brilliant musicians, songwriters, just fill in the blank, right? And let me explain this to you, okay? So we get in a plane, we're headed over, we're doing rehearsals in 2 weeks in Morocco, okay? We're in Marrakesh, Morocco. And part of the reason why we're in Morocco is because we've been hired to perform for the Sultan's daughter's birthday party, okay? Fun gig, right? Pretty fun, all right. So we're over there, we get into destination. Anybody fly intercontinental or overseas? Anybody have experiences like it's exhausting? I mean, just going from across, LA to San Francisco or whatever, just getting on a plane, it's just exhausting. Traveling is exhausting, right? It can be hard. Okay, so we get over there and we're spent. I mean, me, the crew, everybody just exhausted. So the first thing we want to do is crash, get some sleep, right? When we get up the next day, we go and we load in, we get set up into this room, this rehearsal facility, not too different than a room like this, and we start putting everything together. The band starts showing up, and everybody gets plugged in and ready, and then Stevie Wonder walks in, okay? Now, this is the kind of environment, you can imagine it's similar to where, the elected officials in our room or whoever, right? You're ready, right? You're on. You're not joking around. You're not like taking that. So Stevie shows up in the room and it's like, everybody's ready. We're ready to go, okay? So he sits down and he starts hammering out this little melody on the keyboard, right? And then he starts directing the bass player, and the bass player's doing it wrong, and he's like, no, it's not this, it's this, okay? And then the guitars come in and they start playing. He's like, no, it's not that, it's this. He goes through every single instrument and every single player in the room. Now, let me help understand something just for context, okay? Just entertain me for a second for context. So right over here on the left, we have a small mixing console. It's what is used to control the volume that you hear coming out of here, okay? So for Stevie Wonder, we have over 100 channels, inputs, right? How many channels you got over there? 8. He's got 8, okay? So context, we got 8 channels over here, that size roughly. With Stevie, we got over 100, okay? Now, this was several years ago. Digital consoles, digital technology is just coming online, and so they were prone to crash. So not only did I need to manage 100-plus channels on one console, but I had a dual redundant system so that if that failed, the other one picked up immediately and we could keep going, right? Does that make sense? A little bit? Nod your head if you're following me a little bit what I'm talking about. Okay, so the complexity of this is intense, right? A lot of electronics, a lot of channels, a lot of things to put in place. And so while that's happening with us in the background, Stevie's directing the entire band and crew across all the inputs to build this melody, right? Now this really, really beautiful Moroccan melody, okay? And my ears are like, this is like the most wonderful thing I've ever heard. I mean, I got goosebumps even thinking about it now because I remember it, right? It's just powerful to sit in the room like that with an entertainer of that caliber and watch what's happening. I mean, it's literally the highlight of my career in the music business. So we get through that section, okay? Now, I want you to understand a little bit more about what's happening, okay? Because what's happening in this environment is not too different than what's happening in this parish. It's not too different than the dependencies, the complexities, the interrelational parts. It's really not that much different, okay? So we got 100-plus inputs. Stevie does this thing, a whole lot of instrumentation. And then we have tracks, Pro Tools, right? This live tracks that get added to it as well. And somebody's recording the show at the same time. So we have a Pro Tools engineer along with us, and he's next to me, basically. And then we have somebody on a microphone, not too different than this, who's feeding Stevie every lyric just ahead of what he's singing in his ears, right? Because Stevie can't have a monitor in front of him feeding the lyrics, right? Obviously, you get what I'm understanding here, right? So he's playing, he's singing, he's listening all at the same time, while entertaining the audience in front of them, okay? That's complex, right? That's a lot. How many of you go, I could do that? No, I mean, that's how good he is. I mean, this guy is crazy. This is amazing. What kind of a talent is this? All right. So that's what's happening. That gives you a little bit of an understanding and appreciation for the moment, right? What's happening and the complexities involved and everything like that. And then all of a sudden, he goes through his hits. Isn't she lovely? He comes out of Isn't She Lovely, and he plays this little Moroccan melody that they had just rehearsed, right? That they've been working on. And then out of that, and then he gets into Superstition, and he does, and of course, it's like 5,000 people in this little area. And he literally has, you can feel it, everybody in the palm of his hand. In, out of one hit, into another hit, out of that hit, into another hit, with a single melody weaving it all together. The little Moroccan melody that they had written during rehearsals while we were there. And so we finished the show and had no clue where this came from. But here's where it came from. You remember when I said on that first night when we flew over, basically all of us, we were done and we went to sleep? All right, we were crashed. Here's what Stevie did, come to find out. The moment Stevie Wonder landed, he and his entourage, they went into town in Marrakech. And they went in and out of the little clubs and coffee shops there. And he just listened. He picked up on that melody from what they were already doing, saying, singing, what was already in place, okay? And he used that energy, he used that passion to write and weave the little melody. And that was part of the key because they recognized that, right? And all of a sudden, not only do they know the songs and the hits, which we would know too, but they also get invited into that moment and are like, oh man. So through that experience, it's like this communication of where he's going, not only do you like this music and do you vibe with the melodies and everything else, but it's like you just have this continuity of the experience, everybody on the same page, just vibing together, and it's magical. Has everybody had an experience like that before, whether it's at a live event or maybe a family occasion or something? We got one. You have an experience where you go, time seems to kind of transcend the temporal. Right? You have in a moment where it's just like, something else is going on here. It's almost really spiritual, right, to a degree. So I share that story to set the stage to ask this question, okay? Are we going to listen? Are we going to listen to, I'm going to share some data. I want to share some research. But are we going to listen to what's happening amongst our teams? Are we going to listen to what's happening across our organizations? Are we going to listen to the various feedback loops that is already being deployed through the various teams, contacts, neighbors, communities, everywhere? The very fact that you guys are in this room right now, first of all, really impressive to me. I was telling Dustin last night when we were having dinner, I'm like, this is incredible. This is a very, very rare thing. You guys are in a special moment in time. As an outsider looking in with the privilege of being with you today, I'm telling you, this is a rare thing. This is a very rare thing. So are we going to listen? Well, what should we listen to? Let me ask this question. Does anyone know what the most influential form of marketing continues to be? Anybody know? Say it out loud. Thank you. Word of mouth. Word of mouth, right? Yes, word of mouth. So this is where I need to put my readers on, and again, my apologies to those of you in the back, but we can distribute these slides for sure. So word of mouth. Okay, let's think about word of mouth right now. How many of you have told somebody else about a great restaurant to visit, a great book to read, a great movie to watch, right? How many of you have had those, right? Okay, why do you do that? Why do we naturally do that? We do that because we love sharing what we love. We just do. We can't help it. The things we fall in love with, the things that we enjoy, we can't help but share it. That's what it means to be human to a degree, right? That's absolutely what it means to be human. So word of mouth advertising, word of mouth marketing, attributes to $6 trillion of annual spending, right? Now, driven by the word of mouth, it influences total. You think 6 trillion is a lot. That's only 13% of all sales, okay? So huge opportunity to understand how everybody in this room for Natchitoches can participate in that word of mouth. Think about that. Let's put a pin in that, and we're going to keep coming to it, okay? Now, word of mouth also is responsible for an increase on average of 5 times sales compared to a paid ad, for example, right? compared to like a paid ad, paid Facebook post, that kind of a thing, right? Okay, well, that's really interesting. Let's keep listening. Well, word of mouth is attributed to 16% higher customer lifetime value. Okay, so everybody understand what lifetime value is, right? So we just heard Laura talk about 80% expansion, right? That number. Okay, well, that makes perfect sense because that's what we're talking about here too. 80% of the average business expansion comes from 20% of its customers, right? That's lifetime value at work for us. Lifetime value is really, really important to understand. So you make all this effort to acquire a customer, acquire a partner, acquire a visitor, acquire a member, right? How much effort are we putting in retaining them, right? How much effort does that go into designing that so we make sure our eyes are on lifetime value? That's a really, really good thing. Okay, and then next, 10% increase in activity. So leads from 0.5%, 1.5%. So what that means is basically when I have a good experience here in Natchitoches and I go home and I tell my neighbors in Franklin, Tennessee, I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys have got to come visit this canal. It's beautiful. Like, it's just, if you know how we love Franklin? We love living where we live, right? You would love Natchitoches. You would absolutely love it. It would feel like home to you. You would enjoy it. You'd want to go with your family, all this kind of, right? That's word of mouth, and that's what it is. And that's how it happens, and that's how we understand lift in sales. Okay, so now, does sales really resonate with us? Are we really understanding? Is it all about sales? No, it's not. Word of mouth absolutely is critical for customer retention and advocacy. So we experience higher retention rates. We experience increase in advocacy, right? Referred customers are 4 times more likely to refer others. Trust. How many in your situation right now, regardless of your business, regardless of what vertical you're doing, how many would say earning or maybe mining the gap, the trust gap between where you are today and where you want to be with your customers is important? Only a couple. So most of you really don't care about trust with your customers, and is what I'm getting, basically, what I just saw. I know that's not the case, okay? I know that that's not the case because trust is really, really important. Trust is absolutely important to have, not only with our customers, but our prospects. And then when we think about persuasive user, UGC, that's a acronym for user-generated content, 85% find user-generated content more persuasive than brand-produced material. What does that mean, Josh? Okay, well, I'll tell you what it means. User-generated content is where you take a picture of this room and you share it to your friends, whether it's on Facebook or something else, and you're coupling it with a caption that says, man, I love the Natchitoches Chamber. Laura and her team are freaking rock stars, and I am so thankful I get to be a part of it. Boom, that's what we want to see. That's what it means. You do that naturally because you're enjoying it, because you have a good time, and you're appreciative of the benefits that come, right? The sum is greater than the parts. That is a part of the flywheel that we're about to talk about. Okay, so let's keep going on ahead. Get this clicker to work. Come on. Yeah, let's go ahead. Okay, so the community flywheel, what is it? Well, how many have read Good to Great by Jim Collins? A few hands. That's great. Fantastic. Then this is going to sound familiar. You're going to understand it. If you haven't read it, highly recommend you getting it. Highly recommend it, right? Big head nod right here. Absolutely. And second, do I have a third motion? Yes, thank you. Okay, thank you. No, but being silly, but let's start with the community flywheel. If we were to take this flywheel concept, apply it to a place like Natchitoches, this is what it's going to require. Well, you got to build a world-class community. Check, you've got that. How many agree? Raise your hand. You got a world-class community here. Okay, yes. Everybody you should have really raised your hand. I'm asking. Thank you. Yes, appreciate that. Okay. Now, you got a world-class community. We need to define a clear vision. I'm proud to say you guys have that. You may not know that you have that yet, but you do. You do. And in fact, last fall, when we were talking, what you just heard a second ago, your leaders got in the room together and worked really, really hard over a couple days to come at the idea of what does that look like for Go Natchitoches? What is the vision? How can we do things differently? How might we think differently about where we want to go and how we can get there? So decline a clear vision, okay, and relentless collaboration. Relentless collaboration is what it takes. Now, if you know anything about flywheels from a mechanical perspective or anything else, it takes an extreme amount of energy to generate that inertia, right? Getting it going, whether it's a flywheel for your business, meaning lead acquisition, customer acquisition, and so on and so forth, it takes a tremendous amount of energy to get that going. And it can feel exhausting. But what happens once it starts getting going, right? It builds on itself, right? These are physics. So it becomes a thing that is really, really important for us to understand as Go Natchitoches, as the spirit of Go Natchitoches. What is going to generate and sustain that inertia for you guys? Community engagement, small wins, stakeholder partnerships, right? Engaged teams contribute to that momentum, and those incremental progress turns into a self-reinforcing cycle. That's what we saw at Franklin, Tennessee in part. And here's a quick story about that. So, you know, we have it's an award ceremony, right? A lot of you are going to win awards today. So one of the fun things in tourism is you're trying to promote your place, your town, because you want people who don't live here to come leave their money here and then go home, right? Because we want that good money, right? That's a really good part of healthy economic development, okay? So a way that you go about doing that is you're trying to win awards for yourself. We're the best beach. We're the best shopping mall in America, whatever, right? Whatever it is, you're trying to earn that cred, street cred, so that you can leverage it in marketing efforts, right? So Franklin, Tennessee, it's a great American Main Street, much like Natchez is, right? And so we're sitting here going, okay, well, what do we do? How can we do this? And there comes a magazine called Garden and Gun. Anybody know Garden and Gun magazine? Okay, so Garden and Gun does this Best Southern Towns competition. And we're like, oh, this is fantastic. What a great opportunity for us to attempt to do this. And it's a voting style thing, like March Madness style, you know, voting competition. And so we participate, and next thing you know, all we did is ask people, hey, vote for Franklin. Vote for Franklin. Help us win and get to the next round, right? And we do. And then next round, and next round, and next round. And then all of a sudden, we end up in the finals. Little old Franklin, Tennessee, south of Nashville. We end up in the finals against big old Savannah, Georgia. Mecca of a southern town, right? We have no chance at winning this thing. No chance, right? No chance. So, but then we thought a little differently. We're like, why don't we do a massive pep rally, give away popcorn. We'll do it at the theater on Main Street. We'll get the news over here, and let's just line the streets. Heritage participate, Main Street participate, tourism participate. Everybody, city mayor, city manager, everybody came and show up. And all we're doing, we blocked the street off, and everybody comes, hey, have you voted yet? Have you voted? Have you voted? Right? We're just getting people to click a button on their phones. But you know what it did? Activated our people, our friends, our neighbors, activated that pride of place. And we won. We beat Savannah, Georgia, and that became a massive chip on our shoulder. You know what I mean? It's incredible. It's incredible that we won that competition. That community engagement became so much a part of what really helped us take giant leaps forward as a community. Okay, let's keep going here. Let me, oh, there we go. Okay, it is going to work if I get certain closeness, I think. Yep, here we go. Okay, so what are the components of a community flywheel? What are the components? Let's break it down a little bit. Well, obviously, you've got to have a really healthy, vibrant Main Street. And if you guys don't know that, you do. You do. You got a great leader there, too, for sure. You got to have a really good, healthy, vibrant chamber. Check. You got that, too. Tourism board. Check. Local businesses. Check. Community organizations, volunteer organizations, right? You got to have those in place. And of course, you've got to get your infrastructure, local government involved too, right? You have to have all of these people at the table. In other words, when you think about generating inertia from the flywheel, it takes everybody. It takes all of these pieces. And when you have these at the table, you are experiencing and can experience a vibrant Main Street economy. So what is the Main Street economy? Why is the Main Street economy so important? All right. Think about this in terms of Main Street juxtaposed to Wall Street. We were talking when we were eating, right? There's a sense in which we believe a lie, or at least are attempted to convince us to believe a lie that bigger is better. I promise you, bigger's not better. Bigger's not better. Small is the new big and continues to be the new big. It continues to be the new big here. Okay, so that's what we mean when we talk about the Main Street economy. The Main Street economy represents 99+% of all businesses, right? You know that, 99% plus of all business is small business. That's the Main Street economy. Roughly 49% of our GDP is revenue produced from the Main Street economy. Now, you might be thinking that bigger is better, and yeah, sure, there's a natural sense in which bigger enables more things, but what we're talking about here is the things that generate the quality of life that you want. Every single one of you in this room wants. You want to love where you live, the benefits you get. When you pick up the phone, you want EMS to show up in under 2 minutes, right? When you have an emergency, you want fire showing up at the door on time, right? That's going to take every single part of this component working together, not only for you, but for your neighbors and for the visitors that come and experience this too. So did you know why the Main Street economy is so important? Almost half of Google searches, local Google searches, right, are for small businesses. So you might think that you guys can't play in this space, but you're already being sought after. If you're in this room, your people are looking for you online. That's what this data tells us, if we're listening. They're looking for you. Are you discoverable? Can they find you, right? Being found in this flywheel is really, really, really critical. Okay, 80%. This is astounding to me, too. This is, again, why bigger is not always better, okay? So 80%, this is according to a Main Street of America survey from last year, right? That over 80% of small businesses need less than $25,000 in affordable capital. That's crazy, because you would think it's so much more than that. We need a whole lot, and it's really not. It's really not, my friends. Really incredible. And why is the Main Street economy so important? Because on average, it generates a 10-to-1 return on investment. That's nationally by Main Street of America. So thinking about investment strategies, thinking about how we do and why we do what we do. Why is Main Street important? Why is the Main Street economy important? Why is the Go Natchitoches spirit and energy and everything around it, why is it so critical? Because it's going to give a really good return on investment. How many of you would love to see a personal 10-to-1 return on your portfolio? I mean, come on, thank you. Somebody being honest in the room. Yes, absolutely. Really, really important stuff. Okay, so let's dip down into a couple things and let's talk about some reality. Let's get a reality check. Josh, this is really great. It's fun to watch you walk across in front of all of us, but what are we really talking about here? Okay. Let's dip into some honest realities. We are all focused on the things that we need to be focused on, as we should. We're looking to accomplish our goals. We're driven by our beliefs, all this kind of stuff. Silos sometimes happen. It's inevitable. Silo is not a bad word. It's not a bad, it's a 4-letter word. It's not a bad word though, okay? But how do we think about breaking down silos if what we want is to become a community that naturally spins this flywheel and attracts others into it? Well, here's a few ideas, all right? This might be a place where if you want to write down some notes or something or whatever, but you ever think about creating shadow days? You have sister and partner organizations. I don't understand what they do over at the chamber. Hey, can I come shadow Dustin for a day? Can I come see what he's doing, how hard he's hustling? Yes, it's a great idea. Tourism. You know, I hear about tourism, and I know they do a great job, but gosh, I just don't know. Can I come shadow? Paige, can I come shadow? That'd be, no. Okay. Of course you can, right? Great opportunity. Break down some of those silos. Create a shadow day program. Think about data collaboration. Think about what data you get from your tourism organization would love to be able to understand a little bit more if you're a small business and you have a point of sale, for example, and you just simply let them know your origin behavior of who's conducting business with you and the trends that you're observing. Yeah, man, last month we saw 10 people come from Minnesota. That is really helpful information for tourism. Right? That's going to help inform the decisions they can make. It's a really natural, easy thing to do, right? Very simple thing to do. Data-driven collaboration. Joint public-private programs. Obviously, Main Street is huge with those. Heritage communities are a huge thing. Opportunities, share and pool resources. Build capacity. That's what you guys are doing. That's what I hear you're doing. You've had something happen in the community, and now you need to build capacity, right? You need to build capacity to recoup what was lost. Totally normal, natural. Where can you build that capacity? Lots of opportunities. We just heard just a few moments ago of the opportunities for you guys to dip into grant funds and some other things for you to be able to capitalize on that, training, upskilling, some things like that. Build capacity and create feedback loops, right? Feedback loops are really the simplest things. You know what's a really easy feedback loop to do? Oh, thank you. Just saying thank you and smile. Thank you. And then you watch and listen, right? Watch and listen. Watch what happens. It's really incredible what happens when we expose that part of ourselves to somebody else, whether they're a neighbor, whether they're a customer, doesn't matter. And we listen and watch what happens. I'm telling you, in this world, we don't get enough of that. We do not get enough of that. We all need it. We all want to be encouraged in that way, but create feedback loops. Send a survey out from your business. Send a survey. Hey, how are we doing? How are we serving you? We want to serve you better. Will you help us learn? Will you help us grow? Totally safe, normal things to do. Break down a silo so that you can build up hope. Right? So once again, if you want these slides, I've got my number up on the top, and I'll send them to you. I want you guys to have these, and there's a couple free gifts I'll throw into, including a marketing audit for you. But one of the things you want to do when building up hope, how many of you like being at a dinner table conversation and you can't get a word in because the one-upper is dominating the conversation? How many of you have a one-upper in your life? Come on. How many of you are the one-upper? Thank you. I see that hand back there. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing. I know. Listen, share the credit. Naturally take this spotlight off yourself and shine it on somebody else. It's really, really simple. And it's a outrageous thing that generates massive returns for you and the community and your neighbors. Everybody wants to be recognized. This is why user-generated content. It's why word-of-mouth advertising. It's why all this stuff really matters and why it's so powerful, right? Just random acts of kindness, right? Share the credit. 2, celebrate small wins. There is no such thing as a win that shouldn't be celebrated. There's no such thing. No such thing. Sometimes we get into the trap where our heads are down and we're moving so fast, so we've got all this stuff going on, and we just forget. Lift our head. Let's look out. Oh, man, you know what's really good? That thing didn't break today. Or, oh, look what happened. It's been, you know what? Celebrate the things that have been good and been working well. That's a really good strategy. It's been working well. Listen more. Create gratitude loops. Gratitude loops. This is one of my favorite things to think about, gratitude loops. Intentional gratitude. Did you know that practicing gratitude every single day actually rewires your brain? Did you know that it literally rewires the synapses in your brain just by practicing gratitude? Appreciating, learning to appreciate all the positive good that's around you. That's fascinating to me. Laugh out loud. Laugh at yourself. If anything, please laugh at me. But laughing out loud is a really good way to build up hope as a muscle. Laughter. Laughter is contagious, just like yawns. Laughter. Laughter is really, really good. And then smile. That's my favorite thing to do, is just look at somebody and smile. And sometimes it can get awkward because they're like, whoa, I don't know what to do. You're like, that's okay. Make it awkward. Make it awkward. It's all good. But smile. Smile. Building up hope in a community. Do you know one of the things that is so cool when you walk up and down a main street and you don't know somebody and they may be from out of town or whatever, but hey, good to see you. What's that? Right? You might get that. That's okay. But you know what happens? They go home. People have done this. People have done this about Franklin, Tennessee. We would literally host monthly meetings with our Main Street merchants and stuff and we would talk about this. How many people have you smiled at recently? That's a question we would ask, right? It's a good one to put on the agenda. It may seem silly, but I promise you, really, really simple. Hey, how many people have you smiled at lately? Because when strangers smile at other strangers, it does something we can't really measure. I'm just telling you, it really does something we can't measure. It's powerful. It is just really powerful. How many of you feel like you could use a little bit more of that power in your life right now? A couple of you, thank you. Thank you. Yes, like it's really, really incredible what we can do and how we can influence. All right, let's touch on overcoming modern day cynicism. So this is rampant. We've never been at a time where trust has struggled as much as it is now, right? Man, it is tough. It is tough to be a communicator and get into some of these online communities, whether it be Facebook or, you know, whoever or whatever, and just Twitter or X or whatever they're calling it nowadays. Like, it's just tough because cynicism is everywhere. It's everywhere. It won't work here. Womp, womp, womp. Was that Saturday Night Live, Debbie Downer, right? You've seen that? You know what I'm talking about? No, we don't have the time. We can't do this. Who is this weird-looking guy up front? Thank you. I see that. Right? We don't have the budget. Fill in the blank. I mean, just on and on and on and on. Cynicism is real. It's infectious. It's really easy to pile on behind a keyboard. It really is. So, how do we overcome that? I got just a couple minutes, and this is what we're going to do real quick. We're going to talk about transformation over transaction, and how do we do this? Everybody, do me a favor, stand up, okay? Last thing, this is what we're going to close with. Okay, come on, everybody. I know you can do it. Let's do it. Let's shake it off, shake it off. Here's what I want to see. All right. All right, everybody stand and fold your arms. Okay, unfold them. All right, fold your arms again. Okay, unfold them. Fold your arms the opposite way. Yeah, you look funny. Everybody, that feels awkward. All right, put your arms down. Fold your arms. Now fold them on the opposite way. All right, it's a little messy, right? It's a little messy, right? Behavioral change is hard. We get patterned. We get used to doing a certain thing a certain way. It's really hard to change how we do what we do, all right? But everybody in this room, because of the leadership that you've got, because of your opportunity, got a really, really great opportunity. Last thing we're going to do here. Everybody, I want you to look at this wall right here. This wall, right? This wall is, I absolutely believe in where we're going, and I'm excited to go there too. All right? That's what that wall is. This wall over here, everybody look at this wall. Yeah, I'm really fine. Will you just leave me alone? I am totally content. Who is this joker? He is annoying me. When is he done? Yep, that's that wall. All right. Where do you want to be? You want to be on this side? Move that side. You want to be on this side? Everybody move that way. Go to that wall. If you want to be in the team that says, yep, I'm moving forward right here. Yeah, come on, everybody. If this is where you want to go, right? That's what we're saying. Go stand up in this wall. Yes, sir. Keep going. That's right. That's my man right there. If that's what you're saying, yep, I believe in where we're going. I believe in where we're going. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I absolutely believe Natchitoches is headed in the right direction, and I'm really excited. Come on, you can do it. You got this. I believe. Yes. Yes. Thank you for entertaining. Thank you for obliging me. Now, everybody look at the screen. Everybody look at the screen. Here's the opportunity we have. Here's the opportunity we have. We can do everything right. We can check every box. We can try to be perfect in everything we do and still fall down on our face. However, the people that are going to participate in this mission with you, the people that you want to enlist in this mission with you, the visitors you want to come, the economic impact you want to make is going to move as far as they believe this right here. I've learned that people will forget what you said, but people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. What is the Go Natchitoches mindset? If not that right there. What does that mean, right? What does it mean to think about focusing on how you make someone feel? Your community isn't just a place on a map. It's how you make them feel when they're there. It's the stories they tell when they leave. It's the reasons they will come back. This is the opportunity. This is the opportunity which you guys have, right? So, all right, how do you get started? Choose one thing today. One thing. Make one person feel valuable. Let them know that they matter. Let them know that you see them. Let them know that you're glad that they're here. That's the opportunity all of you get to have. Sounds good, right? All right, let's go. Come on, let's do it. Thank you guys so much for letting me be here with you.